Good morning, everybody. How are we all this morning? I hope we're all doing well. Hope we're chip and chipper. And hope you liked the last few videos we've done. Someone said I looked out of breath with Drew. It's just because I've been wrestling that guy before we turned on the video. See, Drew's been real cold. See how you detected the thyroid weakness there? Drew's really cold out here, and we've been talking about his thyroid a lot, so he's been on the desiccated warming up. But you can see he's still tested weak with the thyroid. But I love kinesiology. I think it's a great tool, you know, to help and assist. And also when you're having healing crisis, you can have someone do the back, do the sternum. Remember, always clockwise when you work on these neurolymphatic points. There's charts available you can buy and stuff. So, good stuff. So, hello everybody. The reason this is take two, because I was addressing Wonderwise here, and then Chris pulled me off some stuff. Wonderwise, man, I don't know what's going on. I tell you this, I talked to Kelly last night. She had her appointment. I don't know what to say. I mean, she's telling me you're slandering us in all kinds of ways, and telling her to go to Dr. Mercola or something. And Mercola, excuse me. I mean, it's all right if you want to be down at the bottom of the mountain, but I don't know. I'm reading these emails this morning, or these YouTube things this morning, and Kelly's saying bad things about you, Wonderwise. So I don't know if it's you or Kelly or what. You seem to be nice here and supporting us, and I love you all. So, you know, this is sort of thing that is the human consciousness, you know, and the trap of the mind. See, now look at this. 11. I was waiting this morning and looking around, but I didn't see anything. A few beings walking through the house, of course. That always happens, but 11. I love that. Very spiritual, but we'll see if the consciousness shifts sometime today at all. This was in response to this girl I was talking about that had the brain tumor. No greater love. I love your name there, man. No greater love. I love that. But this is a response about what young granddaughter with chemo and radiation. It wasn't meant to be negative. It's just that we live in a world of just such deception. I mean, in the patriot community, we look at things, and sometimes maybe there is conspiracy theory minds and stuff out there, but it's often thought that when you look at the birth certificates, which now is on bond paper, which is interesting, just like your Social Security number's on bond paper. You also notice a little red account number on the back. That's your account number, and the letter is your Federal Reserve Bank your account is in. And you know, it's been estimated that everyone has a $10 million. Each Social Security number is tied to a $10 million account. And banks use it, different people use it, but you're not supposed to know about it yet. What was it, House Bill 192 or something? When they took the silver away in May or June of 1933, another Roosevelt, great one. Everybody thought Roosevelt was so great. Bankruptcy in March 33. Took the gold standard away that summer. I mean, just keeps going on and on and on. Some really gnarly stuff going on here. But this thought, of course, that because you use your maiden name, the woman uses her maiden name and the father his given name, that sets up a bastard child, and then the state has jurisdiction over bastard children. And so, well, I mean, these are all, you know, ideas that people have, and because the idea that state has jurisdiction over your children is a little freaky. But this is a good case where that's out of balance. Because in this, when you have a case where the child has a brain tumor, it'd be better to let Berinsky work on her. That's the sad thing about this all. It's not difficult to get tumors out of the body. Brain tumors a little more difficult, but not difficult. It's the chemo that starts damaging all the cells in the human body that accelerates the difficulty. And so you got two problems. You got the chemo side of this, which is very difficult. I have a picture here I'd love to show you. I don't know what I can show and not, whether the parents would agree, but the medical doctors literally killed this 10-year-old and had leukemia, which leukemia is a very easy cancer to get rid of under these health programs, considering cancer is not a disease. And so understanding how you refurbish the blood and the bone marrow and the spleen, how you rebuild the body, that's key to understanding everything, of course. And but they gave her chemo, and this little girl had an extreme leukemia. It went from basic, simple leukemia, we'll keep it in those terms, to aggressive or chemo-induced. Now, what was that good for? What did that serve the allopathic community to do that? It's another one in a long line of grade markers, and it's just out of balance. And it is possible if you can get your child. Generally, they'll do everything they can to your granddaughter, and then finally, when there's nothing else left, they'll tell you there's nothing else left. Then you can bring her here, and then we're working like crazy to try to save them. I mean, it's a reality. Forgive me. I don't mean to be insensitive, because I'm not insensitive. My problem is it can unbalance me, because that pulls me into this drama and this criminal activity and the suffering imposed. It's like the Dark Ages and some of these prisons, what they do to people. Heck, some people had it better than giving them chemo. So this is a sad, sad situation there. If you can get your daughter, which granddaughter should be totally fruitarian right now, and get on the herbs and start getting her bowels fixed up, getting her kidneys or her adrenals, and getting this tumor out of her. So it's just a difficult situation. No question about it. Not incurable, but the gloom and doom is the hand she's in right now, and your limited ability to do anything about it. Just watch the news. They'll chase you down and throw you in jail just so they can give your kid chemo. Whew. If that isn't out of the pages of some horror flick, I don't know what is. We can only do our best to let God do the rest. Well, the trouble is we all have to be here for God. You can't expect God to just say, well, God's going to take care of this. You're the channel. You need to take care of this. We need as a society to hold medical doctors responsible. And the problem is not enough people have heard enough yet to rally up and file some class action lawsuits against them. To really put a big damper on this kind of crap. I have a quick question. Re my weak adrenals. You have me on some specific formulas to target them, including the adrenal desiccated, but I was wondering if drinking green tea occasionally, about 3 times a week max, will affect my healing. No, not at all, my friend. Nope, not at all. No greater love. That's what I have. I just am so familiar with where your situation is. I can't even begin to tell you. I'm not new to this field. Wonder Wise, man, I don't know what's going on here with Kelly. I had a good talk with her last night, and, there's no more talking to it. You either get with it or you don't, Kelly. I don't know what to tell you, honey. I'm all for you. Are you worried about your friends? And have churches given her foods, and should she eat it? And hell no. You sit there and tell people you're on a program to win this. You educate people. You can't be the leaf blowing in the wind, and that's kind of what I perceive you to be a little bit, Kelly, is a leaf blowing in the wind. So you become the wind. Sangpakua, John Kennedy. Hey, Indiana. Dr. Morse, my tongue is turning white 4th day on fruits. This is mucus. Yeah, your tongue. This is typical. So keep going till your tongue peakens up a little bit. Had a lady from the YouTube in here the other day, and her tongue literally was black. Black as night with no moon. And she said, oh, this is nothing. It was a lot worse a few days before. Now, I've seen a lot of tongues, but I don't believe I've really seen charcoal black tongue. This was amazing. Wow. It's how toxic people are. That's what we're up against. Let me see. I did talk about osteoporosis. I got that one down. This is this one I pulled up here to see if I've got 24-year-old male, dry heaves and sometimes throws up. And when you go dancing and all that, I think I addressed this. Stomach and solar plexus. This is about the autonomic nervous system. Yeah, I know I did address this. But definitely if you have to, go slower. If you have to use the heal-all tea for a while and kind of start detoxing slower, make sure you're up on the fruits that you can tolerate. But when all these fruits, all these herbs have a drawing effect, so they will draw and they will, if you have toxicity in the stomach, they can make you throw up. But you know what? Dr. Christopher said, well, if you throw up taking herbs, it just means there's room for more herbs. I always like that. But be gentle. You don't go gentle at first. Work yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. And then, keep going deeper and faster and deeper and faster, and you'll overcome this sort of thing. Typical with a lot of people that have weaknesses in the stomach and solar plexus here. There's a lot of gastroparesis out there, paralysis of the stomach now. There's just so many things going on with the humans that, and you just got to do the same thing. These people always throw up. I've had it so bad in here that person couldn't eat anything, not even do water well. And then she'd always throw up. But her husband had a pesticide company, and he sprayed his yard with, and I forget what they call it, but it's banned now, but not DDT, it was something else. But he sprayed his yard thick, his whole yard thick with this. Well, he said, I haven't seen a bug on it in 10 years, but his wife walked barefoot on it and then got gastroparesis, which is, that neurotoxic effect, shut down her autonomic and, of course, shut down her stomach. Yeah, we went over the raw bovine stuff. Okay, tear it up. Let me see. I swear. Oh, I want to say, JG, was it you talking about, what was it someone was talking about this morning? Oh, man, I couldn't believe it was you, JG, you and your boyfriend. About fructose causing uric acid. As far as I know, uric acid is a byproduct of fungus, but a byproduct has always been thought to be a product of proteins, and the breaking down of certain proteins created uric acid. And you made a comment to that, questionable comment. I think it's all questionable. I think biochemistry is all very questionable. It's like this understanding the kidneys are the eliminative organs of the lymph system. But if you looked at A and P, you would see the other concept where your lymph dumps all the acids back into the main duct and then into the inferior vena cava, right into the venous system at the heart area. Why would you dump acids back in the blood? And to think that your body converts all acids to base. If you were if all chemistry in the body was broken down and reutilized, you would never have to eat and you would never have elimination. You wouldn't have a need for that, because everything would be reused, broken down, reformed, and reused by the human body. But that's not the case. You do have excrement. You do eliminate cellular waste outside of the human body, and you certainly eliminate digestive waste outside of the human body. So, and it might be the same thing with uric acid. A medical doctor turned naturopath